Hi, I'm Carah Faye from Shiny Toy Guns, and this is A-Sides.
Cool. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Feels good to be back, right?
It feels great to be back.
So, I mean, everyone's going to... I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot, so I'm just going to ask it first and get it out of the way. So, what exactly happened?
Well, it's a long story, but basically what happened is, the short of it is communication just broke down in the band. We were playing 300 plus shows a year, and there was a lot of tension, and we didn't focus on our friendships. And when we started, we were all best friends, and it turned more into the business as it does. You know, that's just what happens. And we unfortunately didn't focus as much on our friendships to maintain them, because in a band it is a relationship and it is a family, and you need to really, that takes work to maintain, and we didn't. And we learned a big lesson from that, and we all kind of forgot who each other were, and tension built, and basically the guys decided that they wanted to do the album without me, under the impression that I didn't want to be on it, kind of, that I've learned now. And, you know, but basically it was just a communication breakdown, and we parted ways. I went to Sweden. They did album 2, Season of Poison, with another singer, and asked me to come back for it, and I wasn't ready. And then they came back, and at that point, which it had been at this point 2-3 years later, we had all grown where we needed to grow. And I had things that I need to grow and learn away from the band, and they had things that they need to grow and learn, and we needed to come back to appreciate each other, appreciate what Shiny Toy Guns was when we first started the band. And that had been rekindled, and it was real. I didn't come back with a chip on my shoulder. You know, they didn't come back with any sort of predispositions about me or what it was going to be. Jeremy flew to Sweden, where I was living, very genuinely, and, you know, basically said, you know, if Shiny Toy Guns is going to happen, it's going to continue, it's going to be with you, and, you know, the original members. So I felt good about it because it was real. Like I said, there was no chips, it was just, this is real, this is friends being friends again, friends making music, people who were very musically compatible making music again, and we're all really excited, and we've made an album that we're very proud of, and we're now back as the original 4, so we're excited.
And the album's coming out in the fall, right?
Yes.
And you already have a single out, though, right?
Already have a single out, and the radio push, the video comes out in a week, and July 17th, and the radio push will be the end of July now.
I like the teaser video that you were coming back. That was a while ago, though, right?
Oh, the Together Again video? Yeah, we shot that in Mammoth. It was incredible. Yeah. It was so beautiful.
So let me ask you this. I mean, you guys are probably in early discussions for touring at some point, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about that today, actually. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out the tour.
Do you know if are you guys performing anything from the second album, or no?
Oh, yeah, the
Okay.
shows we're playing right now, we're already playing 4 or 5 songs from the new album.
Okay, so but I'm saying, like, you're not pretending like the second album never came out.
Oh, wait, the second album.
Yeah,
yes.
second one.
Oh, no, we perform the 2 major singles, Ghost Town and Ricochet.
Okay.
We do those every show, almost since I first returned. Because you have to. I mean, there's no bad blood about that album or anything.
Right. So, I mean, it still must have felt weird, though, right, when it came out?
When that album came out, it was so weird.
Yeah.
It was a very emotional process for me. I ain't trying to front. It was Shiny Toy Guns was my life, you know, and for them to continue, it's like your boyfriend moving on without you, you know, or it's very, you know, it's hard. It's, in a band, you're very emotionally dependent on the other people. Like I said, it's a relationship, and because you go through so much together, and especially when you tour and when you create together, it really becomes a labor of love, you know, in the relationship, and it was very weird. I've always was very supportive of them and wished them well, you know, with the second album.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's not just like your boyfriend moving on. It's kind of like your boyfriend moving on in the world seeing. So it's a little, it's a little bit intense. So talk to me just, what's the album going to sound like? Is it going to, I would imagine it's going to sound closer to your debut versus
I would say that
the second.
Definitely, but at the same time, it's an evolution towards, as I was telling you earlier, it's more realized, it's a little bit more epic, a little bit less, I wouldn't call it less rock because anyone who's seen us live knows that that's, what we love, but it's back to things that people can identify with more, like they went and wrote Season Poison, and it was a little bit of a darker album, and I went and did Versant, and it was, as an artist you write about what you're experiencing at the time, and I went and did Versant and wrote about what happened in Shiny Toy Guns because that was the realest thing that I had, and now we're back, everything's good, and we wrote this album with all positive vibes, and that doesn't mean it's a happy record, it just means, it wasn't from a dark place, it was from a real honest place. And sometimes as an artist you have to go through things to be able to write a good love song. You have to get your heart broken. You have to know what it feels like to be madly in love with someone. And for everything that we went through, to be able to channel, we can write songs now. They can write songs about me missing me. I can write songs about them, like about forgiveness, about you. There's so many things that were so real that happened between us that we channeled for this. I think the fans are really going to feel that in the music. And
this, hopefully 10 years from now, it's just like a little blip that you just look back at.
Oh, yeah, we had a little brief time apart.
Right.
And I honestly, it feels that way. And it was years, but it felt that way. The day one, we were all together again. And ironically enough, it was shooting the Together Again video. It was the first time. I don't know if people know that or not, but it was literally the first time we were all together. Shooting that video.
After all that shit that went down.
I had seen Mikey and I had seen Jeremy individually, but the four of us, Chad flying in from Oklahoma, the four of us all being together, it was the first time was in Mammoth shooting that video. So
that's pretty cool.
It was emotional for us as well. Like when they did that big thing and we're all standing there looking at each other like, this is real, this is happening.
And it's taken, you said 3 years, right, to get this album off the ground. Was there it wasn't a matter of like, it's a wrestling term, ring rust. I don't know if you know that expression.
No,
it's basically,
please teach me.
It's basically experienced wrestlers, when they haven't wrestled for a while, they come back in the ring and they kind of are a little slow. Yeah.
Ring rust.
I mean, was there any...
I like that. I'm going to
use that. You like that? Totally use that. Was there any ring rust or no?
No, it was immediate.
Okay.
From everything, from the way we laughed, because especially for me, I was 18 when I joined the band.
Yeah.
So it was at a very, like... I didn't really have a set clique within my high school, so it was like right out of graduation. A few months later, I'm in this band, and just very sort of influential. Like we grew together, and our humors were the same. We thought the same things were funny, the same things were sad, and we liked the same music. And we, you have inside jokes with people and stuff, that you're very close with, and it was immediate, and that was for all of us. All four of us were sort of like thrown off by how immediate it was, because we didn't know whether it was going to be a little weird. Okay, we're back, we're about to play a show. It was the stage chemistry. There was zero ring rust on stage. It was like immediate, like getting on a bike. And for what it was touring with Sicily, it just wasn't the same. It was what it was, and they developed a new dynamic, with her, but it just wasn't what we had. That's just natural. You have different chemistry with different people. And it was immediate and just felt so good. It was like, yes.
You are totally going to use that from now on.
Oh,
I can totally tell. No ring rust. Cool. Well, I can't wait for the new album. And like I told you before the camera was rolling, that first album just totally, not only did it took like almost transported me back to the 80s, but like in a good way, like not in a cheesy 80s way,
There is an 80s underlying influenced. We are influenced by it. But you know what? There's so many good melodies from the 80s.
The 80s get such a bad rap. I mean,
you know what? When you think about like melodically, I
Yeah.
think the 90s kind of took a dive melodically.
Yeah.
And there's good things about 90s music too, but the epicness of 80s choruses is
Yeah.
just so good.
Yeah.
And that's, when like the big synth sounds were coming in.
Mhm.
So
And they're all like back now. Like,
Yeah.
Totally. Like you can't find like an alt rock song without like
Yeah.
the synths pumping. So.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Well, good luck. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank
go
you so
away
much.
again, all right?
I won't, ever.
Cool.